Evening and salutations, my Jake fans. So, most people have heard the news that John, aka Kevin Collins, is back. And I'm going to be honest, a couple of reasons why I don't care, right? When I first started watching soap operas, I was just watching like Live, and I would watch like Port Charles and General Hospital, and after a while, I just kind of just stuck with General Hospital, right? And so I didn't really watch any of the other shows. And so, him being back, if I was just watching General Hospital, I think I'd be a little bit more excited if I didn't watch the other shows. But because I watch Beyond the Gates, I know that he is a prominent character on that show. He's a great character. He's a great character on that show. And so while people may be very happy that he's on, he's back and everything like that, he made a bunch of excuses and, oh, he's in London, he's in Dublin, he's in blah, 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 blah. Him being back is like, man. I mean, I know people are going to sit there and say, but he's there for Laura, he's going to support Laura and stuff like that. I was like, and I think that would probably hold more weight if we seen him on here more. But because we haven't, and him coming back is like, okay, cool. He's going to be there for a little bit, and then he's going to leave, and he's going to be back on Beyond the Gates, and that's just how that's going to be. So, and granted, this is probably how it's always been. For people who have watched like multiple shows, and sometimes characters go from here to there, like Justin or Wally Kirk, Justin and Ned and stuff. And so I don't know, just like him being back is like, man. But anyway, he's back, and after a little bit of stalling, when Kevin is at the asking Laura what's going on, I know there's something going on, you're a bad lie, yada, yada, yada. After Lulu comes over for another good 5 to 10 to 15 minutes, towards the end, she talks about the whole Dalton situation, is that he's dead, and she found him in the back of her trunk. So there's that. Okay. I wish this was stronger, but whatever. And the reason for that is I gotta sit there and talk about two annoying ass characters. Jesus. Mm. Trina. I don't, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just get to it. So, as, in the last episode, Nathan comes and one second. Nathan comes in and he's like, hey, listen, I want to sit there, I want to have a talk with you or whatever. To Curtis. What is this about or whatever? It's like, no, let's sit there and talk about it downtown or whatever. Trina decides to get an attitude, walk up in this man's face. I was like, girl, if you don't sit your dumb ass down somewhere, like the way that she walked up like on him, was like, it just was like, okay, listen, I get it. Nobody wants their parents arrested and everything like that. I don't know why Stella kept saying, it's Thanksgiving, it's Thanksgiving. I was like, first of all, girl, not everyone celebrates Thanksgiving. Calm down. Okay? Like, stop. Her little attitude was just like, mm. So, Curtis is like, listen, I'm not, I'm not going anywhere with you. Mason was like, okay, you know what, listen, that's fine. But you know how this works. So, I come back with a warrant. I come back with a warrant. I arrest you and I search your place, and your family goes through all of that. Do you want to put your family through that? And Jordan was like, "Are you really confident that you can get a warrant?" He was like, "Yep, I am. So Curtis is like, all right, listen, I'll go down there, but I'm taking my car. So they go down to the police station. Trina um is talking about she's mad and worried and everything like that. And then Stella was like, well, at least Jordan is not there going there with her. And then the shit talk starts, right? Shit start the she starts in with Jordan's not there saying, I can't believe she actually came out her. See, this is my whole thing. When I sit there and say it's like stay out of grown folks' business because you don't know the whole damn story. She blames Jordan for her parents splitting up. And I'm like, at the end of the day, you stupid little girl, your parents had their own issues. Yeah, Drew didn't help that, right? And, listen, one could sit there and argue Jordan didn't help that either. But my whole thing is she's coming at Jordan hard. Like what Curtis was just what mind controlled or whatever. So I'm not feeling that shit at all, right? And then she's upset with them because she was like, "Hey, listen, I'm the last one to know that my mom is pregnant and stuff." Now, had Daddy knew it, had Daddy was like, listen, she was not there planning on telling people after the first trimester, but I'm her daughter, so that means you're entitled to her private business. Like, so not only are you just having the most rage bitch fest at people, but now you're just coming across as entitled. Wow. Just and so she goes out to get some air with Kai, and Stella is upset with Marshall for not telling about the whole Curtis stuff or whatever, right? And now she wants to sit there and try to like get in their business. And be like, oh, you need to sit there and stop Curtis because he's gonna sit there and leave his wife and stuff like that. And Morris like, hey, listen, if he does that, that's his business. But I gotta stop it. I gotta. This is my whole thing. This is the reason why I did not like Stella since day fucking one because she is a nosy ass busybody. Listen, there's one thing to sit there and be concerned for your nephew and want them to do better, but at the end of the day, it is their choice. Like Marshall said, he's a grown ass goddamn man. No, no, not Stella, because she knows what's best. So now she's all like, oh, if Irene was here, she would be so upset and da 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 da. After a while, I was like, okay, you know what? Listen, I'm just gonna go on my phone and I'm just gonna let you talk in the background because I can't. I was like, I can't listen to your irritating ass voice one more goddamn second. Now, Michael was looking inside Willow and Drew's wedding like a goddamn creep. And then he left. He went to uh, I don't know whatever bar that they have now, and meets Jacinda. And he says that he went to the wedding because he was like, "Well, I needed to sit there and see them all in eyes." I was like, "No, you went to the weddings just where you can justify your actions of keeping the kids away from Drew." Listen, this whole thing is pretty damn simple. The end of the day, and it's really amazing, and this is for all the soap operas, right? Like this is for Days of Our Lives. Like whenever Sarah was upset with Xander, oh my daughter this, my daughter that. It's always my kids this or my that or whatever, right? Like at the end of the day, listen, you may not like it, but those kids are hers just like they are yours. Now, in the real world, this is where it gets very tricky. The father of your child, the mother of your children, whatever, is dating somebody that you don't like, right? Okay. Hey, at the end of the day, supervised visits or whatever, that's totally fine. But like he tries to make it seem like he doesn't want those kids to be around Willow at all as long as she's with Drew. Right? And I was like, okay, fine. You don't want them around Drew. That's fine. I get that. But regardless of how you feel about Willow, um, she has a right to see those kids. Yeah, you got to sit there and find a way to compromise, visitors, visit, supervised visits, whatever, right? And so he spends the majority of him doing that, and she, just in the talks about her own personal relationship. While she had her mother remarry, and stepdad wasn't abusive, but he also wasn't really like he wasn't really much of a stepdad. He didn't really care to sit there and be in that role. Next thing they go back to her place and they hook up. Fast forward past that part. I mean, it wasn't like it was disgusting or anything like that. I always find those like sex scenes so weird and awkward and like you know. Now Brooklyn and Gio are talking, and Brooklyn's just kind of worried throughout most of this conversation about saying the wrong thing, pushing, not pushing enough, pushing too much, and whatever, right? So they have a light conversation about Emma, and then it goes into Dante, right? And bottom line, he was like, listen, I get it. Dante is upset with what I did. And I can't sit there and knock him for that. But I don't have to sit there and take it. I don't have to sit there and just be his emotional punching bag. And that's very true. Also, Brooklyn asked Gio his perspective of what going on that night. And that was it. And then Emma comes by, and Emma wants to talk to Gio. Emma gets a note at her door for an address, and she thinks it's the off-campus site of Dalton. So she's like, "All right, tonight we're gonna sit there and rescue those animals." I was like, "Let me get this straight. Some person just gives you a note under your door of an address, and you just put two and two together. Oh, it gotta be Dalton, and those animals he was sent there testing. We're gonna go and we're gonna liberate those animals." It could also be a trap. It could be a numerous amount of things. No, 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 no. It's the animals. And she was like, "Yeah, let's go. Let's go." Okay. Yeah, this is very smart. That's Geo for you. Just making those great decisions. Just got a note and just start putting two and two together in her head. Um. Now the questioning starts. Well, in the beginning, he can't get a hold of Willow. I mean, he can't get a hold of Alexis, and he also finds out Alexis is representing Willow, so that's non grata. Jordan goes in there with him. Right? At first, he was like, "No, you can't go in there." I was like, "Why? She's not the acting commissioner. You don't really have a reason why she can't go in there with him." Anyway, he goes through the story again, but the problem is because there's an alarm system that there's a time window where their alarm is turned off and then turned back on. Right? And so there's about an hour that is missing because he said he was at the Savoy, right? And he's like, what's going on? I'm just saying, like, why am I here for? And that's when the alarm system is like, because I don't want to pause it. So he was thinking saying like the alarm system got deactivated at 9:20, and it got reactivated at 9:51. He met Jordan at 11, right? So he has a whole hour of time that's missing. Now, while he's getting questioned, he thinks about what he was doing. Turns out he was at the bar when Jordan met him at the bar. He was already there, but it's because he was with someone. He was with Selina Wu. And apparently he said he wanted to pay Selina Wu about $1 million to take a hit out on Drew, and he wanted that shit done tonight. Well, not tonight, but when it happened. So I just, listen. On one hand, it was really great to sit there and see Selena Wu, right? On the other hand, it just, seeing her just kind of reminded me just how badly they mishandled the character. You know, like Sitwell was like, "Oh well, so he's not going to sit there and believe you. He's just going to sit there and attack you." Well, I think you're right. I mean, I can always sit there and talk to Sonny, but I mean, if you say that he's just going to be like a rabid dog and just straight up attack, well, I guess I got to sit there and take your word for it. I mean, it's not like she hasn't been doing this for eons and a long time, and it's not like she doesn't have power or whatever where she can't defend herself. But no, Jen Sitwell seems like he's a very smart man. I mean, he's bald and he's older, so I mean, I'm just not going to sit there and bother to question his wisdom or anything. And that's where I am when I sit down and see it. It's like, oh man, it's really great to see you. Oh yeah, I forgot how they mishandled you. Um, oh, what do I feel like that's about it? Oh, and Willow went through with the marriage, and she pretty much told Nina, mission accomplished, and she'll do anything to get back her kids. Liz is there, and yeah, I guess at some point they're gonna consummate the marriage. Maybe, who knows? Huh, I feel like that's generally about it. That's the general gist of the episode. There might have been some more stuff here and there, but that's not it. Anyway, um, I mean, I am gonna sit there and plug my new series that's coming out. Um, I'm putting out next week. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm working on a title. Working on a title for the next short series, which I'm liking. The new one I'm actually putting out tonight. Gonna be good. So definitely check that out. And my shorts or whatever, definitely check that out. And if you're not a member, make sure you become a member. Click the description box below in the yeah description box below. I'll sit there and have it. You can join. It's a lot of fun. We were sitting there watching some classic passion scenes, which I still love that show. Listen, I know that people wrote it off because the dialogue's kind of cheesy sometimes. And it had the whole witches and warlocks and stuff. Man, some of that dialogue was just when it was good, it was really good. Um, and we looked at one of the characters this week, so that was fun. And we also looked at classic GH, which was also pretty fun. So if you're not a member, make sure you join, become a member. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you on the next video and the live stream tomorrow.